Welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
So today we're tackling a listener's request, basically diving into the football gossip world.
Yes. The rumor mill. It's definitely that time of year.
It really is. Things are moving fast. We've got a report here from June 3rd, just a snapshot, really.
Right. And it gives us a peek behind the curtain, what's really being talked about.
Exactly. So the mission, as always, is to unpack the big stories from this report. What moves, what club issues are actually significant here?
Try and cut through the noise a bit, see the patterns, the potential reasons.
Okay, let's dive straight in then. One thing that jumped out immediately was the Saudi interest.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Starting with Son Heung-min at Tottenham.
Right. The report says Saudi clubs are targeting him.
They are. And crucially, it suggests Spurs. Well, they might actually consider selling him.
Wow. Their captain.
Yeah.
Even at 32.
Yeah. The report links it to needing transfer funds, maybe cashing in while his value is still high to reinvest elsewhere.
Makes a cold sort of business sense, I suppose. Still, tough for the fans.
Absolutely. But he's not the only one linked to Saudi in this report, is he?
No, not at all. It also mentions Jadon Sancho.
The Manchester United winger. Also potentially heading to the Saudi Pro League.
Does it say which clubs are interested?
Yeah, it gets specific: Al Hilal, Al Ittihad, Al Nasser. Big names over there.
So it's not just random interest. It feels quite targeted, going after these established Premier League players.
Definitely. It shows that the whole project is still very much active, trying to attract top talent. It changes things for European clubs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it provides another huge financial option for players and a source of funds or maybe a headache for the selling clubs.
A real shift in the market dynamic.
Okay, so shifting away from Saudi moves, the report also touches on someone potentially coming to the Premier League, but maybe it's not so certain.
That's Martin Zubimendi, the real Sociedad midfielder.
Been linked with Arsenal for ages, hasn't he?
He has, but this report, well, it says the 26-year-old has kind of cast doubt on that move.
Cast doubt? How so?
It quotes him saying he has options, and he's not sure about his destination yet.
Options. Doesn't sound like someone dead set on North London.
No. Could be anything, really. Other offers, maybe staying put, maybe just a negotiating tactic,
Yeah, it could be. But it adds that layer of uncertainty, doesn't it? What seems like a done deal might be far from it.
Absolutely. Player comments can really stir things up.
Speaking of stirring things up, let's talk wages. There's a number in this report that really made me look twice.
You mean Brian Mbeumo, the Brentford forward linked with Man United.
That's the one. And the reported wage he's hoping for.
Yeah, it's £250,000 a week.
Well,
$250,000.
Wow. And the context the report gives is key, isn't it?
It is. It says that's 5 times his current wage at Brentford.
5. That just shows the huge gap, doesn't it, between, the very top clubs and the rest, even in the Premier League.
It's massive.
Yeah.
And you can see why a player might push for that kind of move. It's life-changing money.
Definitely. But raises questions for United, too, about wage structure and, well, affordability if everyone wants that kind of jump.
For sure. And makes it almost impossible for a club like Brentford to keep hold of someone once that kind of offer is even rumored.
Right. Okay, moving from players to managers now, there's a fascinating link involving a former midfield maestro.
Cesc Fabregas, yeah. Currently managing Como.
The report says Inter Milan have contacted him.
Yeah.
About potentially being their new manager.
That's right. Apparently following Simone Inzaghi's departure.
That seems quick. For Fabregas, I mean, he's only just really started managing properly at Como.
It does suggest his stock is really high already. Maybe clubs see huge potential looking past the lack of, long-term top-flight experience.
Interesting. A big gamble for Inter, maybe, but what an opportunity for him.
Absolutely. It shows clubs are looking at different profiles, not just the usual experienced names.
Okay, let's shift again. Away from individuals, the report covers a club-level issue, something complex happening at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, this involves their part owner, John Textor.
Who also owns Lyon in France.
Oh, exactly. And the report says he's trying to sell his majority share in Palace.
Okay, why? What's the reason given?
It's apparently to avoid Palace being disqualified from the Europa League next season.
The UEFA multi-club ownership rules.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You can't have one owner controlling 2 clubs that might end up in the same European competition. Creates a potential conflict of interest.
So if both Palace and Lyon qualify for the Europa League, Textor owning both is a problem under the rules.
That's the issue highlighted. So selling the Palace share is presented as a way to ensure Palace can actually compete in Europe if they qualify.
Wow. That shows how these regulations can directly force huge ownership changes. It's not just about results on the pitch.
Not at all. It's finance, regulations, ownership structures, all impacting the club's future. A big headache for Palace, potentially.
Okay, back to players. A goalkeeper this time, Aaron Ramsdale.
Yep, the England keeper. The report links him with a move to West Ham.
He's at Southampton now, of course, who just went down.
Right, and the report mentions Southampton are hoping to get about £20 million for him.
Makes sense. Relegated clubs often have to sell key assets, don't they? And £20 would be useful for Saints in the Championship.
Definitely helps balance the books or fund a rebuild. And West Ham get an established international keeper. It's that classic post-relegation transfer scenario.
Yeah, you see it happen every year. Someone like Ramsdale gets snapped up.
It's the reality of relegation, unfortunately, for the clubs involved.
And finally, the report touches on a real legend of the game, a veteran making a potential move.
Luka Modric. Still going strong at 39.
Incredible. And the destination mentioned.
The report says he's verbally agreed to join AC Milan.
AC Milan, wow, after all those years at Real Madrid.
Yeah. Set to leave Real after the FIFA Club World Cup this summer, according to the source.
What a signing that would be for Milan. Even at his age, the experience, the quality.
It really speaks volumes about him, doesn't it? That elite clubs still want him. It's not about a massive payday in a new league. It seems more about a new challenge, a different kind of role, maybe.
Shows there's still a place for that kind of experience at the top level. It's not all about youth and potential future fees.
Exactly. A different motivation compared to, say, the Son or Sancho links we started with.
So, looking back at this whole report, it's quite a mix, isn't it?
It really is. You've got the Saudi influence pulling players out.
Doubts about players coming in.
Massive wage demands.
Managerial changes on the cards.
Complex ownership issues driven by rules.
Relegation fallout.
And, yeah, veteran legends finding new homes. It covers so many different angles of the football world right now.
It really connects everything, doesn't it? How finances, rules, player ambition, club performance, it all influences these potential moves reported here.
Absolutely. One decision impacts another. It's a whole ecosystem.
So, pulling it all together, what this deep dive shows us, based on this June 3rd report, is just, well, a hive of activity. Son, Sancho, Zubimendi, Mbeumo, Fabregas, Textor, Ramsdale, Modric. It's a whirlwind.
It highlights all the strategic thinking, the negotiations, the pressures happening behind the scenes. It's much more than just players kicking a ball.
Yeah, and it makes you think. The report also mentioned the transfer window opened early this year. What does that actually change? Does it, speed things up even more, put more pressure on clubs to get deals done faster, or does it give them more breathing room? Something to consider as we see how these stories actually play out, right?
Definitely something to mull over. Does an early start mean early finishes, or just a longer period of, well, this kind of intense speculation and dealing? We'll have to wait and see.